Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Wanted to get a video up for GM mode. This is just a quick one. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos on GM mode here in the next coming days and weeks. But this one, I just really quickly wanted to go over some things. First of all, in 2K23, I went over how to edit your kind of draft pool because they don't really clarify it. I'm just going to go over that again for 2K24 in case you missed that 2K23 video. There's just minor slight changes, but the other thing I really want to point out in this one is how to confirm your GM mode and start without champions, because they don't say that you can do that, and you can. You don't have to assign them right at the beginning. So let's get into it. Stick with me for this quick video, and I appreciate it. All right, so I've already just set up some random selections. I'm not going to actually play this GM mode, so I'm just setting this up for the purposes of showing you guys what I'm talking about. Now, for the draft pool, you of course want to go to custom. I'm going to go down to new. And then first and foremost, you can scroll through each one of these and change them. You can change the class, the role, the popularity, the contract, which we'll get into what that is in a second. And you can also change the popularity up to a maximum of 70 and a minimum of 1, as you could just see. Now, on the contract side, so there's no legends anymore. What there is there's active, inactive, local, and contract. Just a quick breakdown of what that is. Contract means that they will not come up in the draft. They usually cost a little bit more. These are where your legends sit. They're not going to be in the draft, and you can't use them as keepers at the end of the season. But they will come up as free agents with your talent scouts throughout the season. Then for local, it's really basically the same as contract. The only difference is the locals are way lower usually on the totem pole, and they're usually a lot cheaper. The other thing about locals is I think you can use them as keepers, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. And then, of course, active means they will show up in the draft. They will show up everywhere. They are active wrestlers. And then inactive means they will not be seen anywhere, not the draft, not free agent, not anything. And this leads right into how you add, that's the wrong button, your created characters. So you can see that I've downloaded a lot of created characters, created a couple myself that I may want to put in. What you want to do is you want to turn this to active if you want them to potentially show up in the draft, contract if you want them to, show up kind of like as legends, and local if you want them to kind of start off low and build their ways up. I do want to point out, because on my 2K23 video, I got a lot of questions and comments about this, because people would say, hey, I've set all my created characters to active, but only like 4 of them showed up in the draft. The draft does not include all the wrestlers that say active. It never has, and it never will in the last 2 games. Basically, it takes from a pool, so some of your created wrestlers are going to show up, some of them aren't. Some of the WWE already there wrestlers are going to show up, some of them aren't. It's whatever it randomly selects when it's pulling the draft pool. So that is how you get the created character stuff. Of course, if you have any questions, ask below, but really quickly I'm just gonna bump out, put it back to default. I'm gonna do an auto draft. The auto draft takes forever, so I'm gonna pause the video while it quickly drafts so I can show you now how to start a game without champions. All right, we're back. The auto draft went through. I'm going to show you guys really quickly. This is super easy to do, but they just don't tell you it's there. So obviously you get your initial emails here. Sure, we're going to do great. That's awesome. And then it goes to select your champions. Now, this was really interesting, is it does not tell you that you don't have to select your champions. It just puts them down in front of you. But you see that little confirm selections at the bottom? If you hit it, it will ask you if you want to finalize your champion selection. You say confirm, and guess what? You don't have any champions. That way you can set whatever match you want and have it decided in the ring, which is how I like it personally, because I kind of tend to use GM mode kind of as my universe almost. It's my it has been for the last 2 years. It's basically the only thing I play on these games. I don't even know how to do the wrestling matches, so that's a really cool option for me, and I'll show you really quickly. So let's say you want to start off with a TLC match. You put in some wrestlers here. The computer drafted very interesting. You can title match to world, title match to men's, whatever you want. Same with the women's because they are now vacant. Once the match happens, of course, it'll get decided, and then they'll get that popularity boost. So if you want a little bit more of a random selection, that's how you do it. Just for anybody out there who would much rather have your champions earn it in ring, that's how you do it. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope it was informational. I am going to be trying to post some videos on GM mode coming up on some fixes I think they need to make to GM mode, and a wish list for what I'd like to see added to this GM mode. So take a look out for those. And otherwise, if you have any questions, ask below, and I'll try and answer them. Just one guy who plays GM mode a lot, so if I got the answer, I'll tell you. You guys can also reach us on Facebook at OmegaMDH, on Twitter at OmegaMD9. You can join our Discord, links in the description below. Influence this and all of our shows from there. And yeah, if you keep watching, listen, I'll keep making them. See you guys next time.